Hey, episode 1 intro. Pilot intro. It's like we're fighting who's got the first clap.
We're so immature.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, intro, clap.
Wait, what did you do? You did the, oh my God, when we were at my fucking beach house.
Yeah.
And I pulled the car into the garage and you go, hey, do you mind if I hit the garage door button? And I was like, yeah, you gonna, yeah. Hit the garage door
You're like, you want to hit it twice?
Yo,
God.
you would open it and shut it all night if you want.
Yeah. You're like, look, and if you touch it like that, boom, boom, look like that. Look, no, do it.
I like it's like the little things in life, you know what I mean? Like it was just so funny to me, like you being from the city and like living in a, like you're like born and raised in the city, so like no one has garages.
Yes.
No one has garages. No one has garage door openers.
Yeah.
Like, and not only is this like my family's house, it's like our second house with like a beachfront house, which is where you'll see us momentarily in the actual episode. But like it was just such a hilarious perspective.
But you know what
thing.
it is too? Like, I've been to the Cape, right? Like Kate's parents' house, right? Like they have a garage, but the thing is they don't use it. They park the car outside. Like you know what I mean? So we were parking the car and like we were going in through the garage. So I was like, this is my moment, baby. I don't know when this opportunity is gonna come again.
Right.
And I was like, we were walking in and you were like right behind. I was right behind you and I'm like, yo,
Like,
whoa.
whoa.
Your hand went for it, and I was like, whoa. I said, can I do it? And you were like,
my head, I felt like a philanthropist when you did that. I was like, of course you can. Of course, hit the garage door button, little girl. But
you also had like this face of excitement that you were like letting me do something new.
Yeah.
You were also like, confused, but also like happy to give me something.
Yeah.
You were like, but of course. You're like, do you want to walk in and out again? You want the key? Like, you want to pull in?
Yeah, we could do this all. I'll back the whole thing up for you.
You're like, you want to use the dishwasher upstairs? I'll let you put in the pod.
You can flush the toilets. Yeah. Yeah. That was so fucking funny. That was like, oh, fuck. If you guys don't have any context of what we're talking about, you will very shortly.
Yeah.
This is Splittin Hairs. This is a Splittin Hairs show.
This is Splittin Hairs. And in the beginning of the show, we had a hard time choosing a name because Chris and I don't have real kids.
Right.
So we treated this like this was our real kid. And we had other ideas. And, you know, like when you're searching for a name for a podcast, you want to Google stuff and make sure you don't sound like anyone. Nobody has what you have. And
right.
You also... It's not that serious, but it is. Like, I feel like such a mom. I'm like, we named our kid. We went home and we regretted it.
Right. That's exactly what we did. We named our kid. We had a kid, or we adopted a kid. We hired a woman to be the surrogate of our kid because both of us refused to be involved in it.
Oh, yeah. None of us should be involved in it.
And now we have hired and are now raising this kid, and we gave him a name on day 1, enrolled him into a school, and on day 2, we're like, we take it back. We want to name him something else.
We were on our way home from picking him up at the hospital, or she, or he, or they, or them,
or
whatever.
They, whatever.
And on our way home in the car, this guy, Billy, told us to go fuck ourselves after we name our son Billy. And we were like, we gotta change Billy's name.
We can't do Billy.
Yeah.
we hate Billies now.
Yeah.
So we got to go back and go with the other name, and we named it Shiloh.
We name it Shirley.
Its name is Shirley.
But we changed the name, and we're very happy with it.
Yeah, we're very happy with the name.
It
really doesn't have anything different to do with the show. The content of the show is what we cared about.
Yeah.
And the decision to the moral compass of the show and where we want to take it, that's what we focused on, not the fucking name. We chose a name. We backtracked on it. Now we're sticking with Splittin Hairs. So anytime you hear some weird British lady saying Splitting Hairs, that's when we
is my mom.
That's Ashlyn's true mother.
Yeah. That's the surrogate.
Yeah, that's the surrogate that we hired for the child.
Yeah.
Correct.
But so we changed it, and
it was originally called American Friends. That's what we when we go into this episode, we were like, we went into it being like, it's called American Friends, and we like make some like America jokes.
We ideally wanted Splitting Hairs, but things we were like Googling, and some came up, and
we're two Tauruses.
Tauruses are actually not indecisive.
Oh, I mean, that has nothing to do with
We're two assholes.
We're two dicks.
And we think we can do whatever we want, and we can. No, but we called it Splittin Hairs. The podcast doesn't change because of it, because at the end of the day, the core was still there.
Right.
What we wanted from the podcast, we got in every episode. It didn't matter the name. So
that's it.
Welcome to Splittin Hairs.
Yeah, welcome to Splittin Hairs.
Yeah.
That's it. And in case we don't do proper promotions going into this episode, if you want to follow either of us, you can follow me at Chris Metcalfe Comedy at Instagram. And I'll be in doing comedy in Texas, and you can follow me there to find where I'm doing shows and stuff. I'm working on promoting myself.
That was a choice.
I like holding.
It doesn't have to be the right one, but at least you made a choice.
I chose.
I mean, coming in, you were like, I know we're gonna do an intro, and this is what I'm gonna choose. This is how I'm gonna choose to say my name. I mean, good job on promoting yourself.
Thanks.
You can follow me at Ashlynn Salzano on Instagram. Like, really, that's all.
That's it.
Yeah, I have a podcast too, but you know.
Oh yeah, I have a podcast too. We have
No. I have a podcast. I have a podcast.
It's called Dunce Caps.
Mine is better. I have a podcast.
I love how we're doing this with like 3 people watching this one. They're like, we don't even like this one. We don't even like this one that we're watching right now.
They're gonna fucking love it, and if they don't like it, they're
people
fucking
are gonna
wrong.
love this.
They're
That's what I'm
wrong.
saying, yo. You guys fucking, I know that everyone watching this right now is like, yo, thank God.
And that's the Taurus in us.
Yeah. Cut to the episode. Wait, let's say our pronouns real quick. I'm a he.
I'm a starfish. You and I are sick.
You walked into a lion's den.
You wouldn't know that it was human meat until they said to you, human carpaccio.
When I think about eating people, not only do I think about how they would taste, but I also like to think about their personality.
Walked into a lion's den.
Just call me my guy and we're good.
Yeah. Call me my dude. That's it. You sound like the dumbest robot made.
I am the dumbest robot.
Thank you for listening to Splittin Hairs. On this podcast, you're gonna learn about yourself. I'm Ashlynn Salzano.
My name is Chris Metcalfe.
We're all lizard people anyway.
And we're live. I'm assuming like fireworks are gonna come in for this because we're the
Splitting Hairs.
We just like light up fireworks in your house, like, and your parents are like, "Why would you do that?" You're like, "No, we're
Splitting Hairs.
We're
Splitting Hairs.
now. That's what the name of the show. Yeah. They're like, can you tone it down and just do sparklers? Yeah.
We're like in my apartment in New York City, like doing fireworks. The firefighters come. They're like, "Why would you do this?" And I'm like,
Splitting Hairs. Splitting Hairs.
There's a bunch of Dominicans behind the firefighters with their own fireworks trying to participate.
Yeah. They're like, "Oh, I'm here." You know? Then you see like other apartments doing it too.
Yeah, they're all blowing off fireworks inside. Yeah,
it's like the pots and pan thing that started happening after the quarantine.
That was a disgrace. That was a disgrace to all Americans. But whatever.
I don't
Whatever
know.
you gotta do.
I don't think that was a disgrace. I think that was just like, okay, this is one of those things that's phony about Americans.
Here's what I would rather them do. I would rather them put out something where they're like, hey, you know what we should do? Let's all just, for fun, on this date and this time or every day this week, we do the pots and pans thing. But when it's like, it's the same thing when people clap when they like land an airplane.
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
You clap?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. If I feel like the pilot did a good job, I'll clap. I don't
He's
care.
not a comic.
I don't care, though. Like, I'm not one of those people that's like, we should be clapping, like 100% clapping. And I'm not one of those people that, like, I hate people who clap. If everyone's clapping, I'm in. I'm like, yay!
Oh, it's crowd mentality?
Yeah.
I was kind of picturing a different clapping from you where you're just like, fucking made that shit. Fucking made it.
Oh, no.
Like a self clap of thanks. Yeah.
I can see myself doing that.
I could 100% see you
myself
doing
like,
that.
I ain't die on this one.
Yeah.
They ain't get me here.
Yeah. Not today. Yeah.
Not on this plane.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and you're not like, but yeah, so yeah, that clapping, and then you say, but the crowd, but they don't land, and you're not like, thank God.
No. Because God has nothing to do with it.
Of course, it was all that pilot.
Yeah.
It's all that pilot.
It was all Sully, baby.
Yeah. He's a great American. Speaking of great Americans, this is our show.
Yeah.
Splitting Hairs.
Yeah.
Welcome to
Splitting Hairs.
Yeah, we are the
Splitting Hairs. Splitting Hairs.
I'm like looking at all three angles. Anyway.
not American. We are the
Splitting Hairs. Splitting Hairs.
Yeah. So I don't think we need to get into a prelude of why we fucking came up with the name of the show. We're both Americans and we're both friends. Right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's pretty simple.
It was kind of funny too. Like we were sitting here writing like options that we had, and we were like, oh, like Google this, Google that, right? Like going through it, and then we just started talking about something, and we were just like, I think we said
Splitting Hairs.
I was like, the joke was that no matter who you are, as long as you are born in America, you are an American.
Right.
And no matter your background, no one is more American than anyone.
You're right.
All you have to do is be born here, and that is the most American.
Well, I was going to say you don't necessarily have to be born here either. If you become a full American citizen, I mean, does that not qualify them as being an American? They're fucking American as far as I'm concerned.
They're American 100%.
That's the American dream.
Yeah, no, they're American 100%. But the way I was thinking about it was like, someone can argue, well, they're half American.
I mean, I guess. But I think what's great about it and what made me laugh about it was just like, it's just like, no matter how white I am, I'm not more American than you.
Right, because we were both born on American soil.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's where it's not saying like, oh, I'm more American than someone who just got citizenship. It's just like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but come on, you've been around a lot longer on the American soil.
I deserve it.
I'm not saying.
I deserve.
I'm not saying.
But there's no American like gold, American platinum. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Like even like, you know, Vishal, like the cab driver, like some guy who just got here and he's like sleeping on, like, you know, some people come here with like next to nothing.
Really?
Right?
Tell me about it.
Right. They
tell
do.
me
They do.
your experience, Chris. You little Long Beach boy.
I'm not trying. Yeah. Yeah, we're in my family's beach house.
Yeah.
This is why, by the way, the background looks like this. This is my family's beach house. We're here on like a little like comedy writing retreat, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. So I obviously know about struggle coming from. Yeah, that's why. What does this say? I think you can see it on that or yours. What is it?
You can shake the sand from your shoes, but it will never leave your soul.
That's right. That's right. You have no idea how many times I've tried to get the sand out of my soul.
Your mom has like all these little like cute things.
There's signs everywhere.
She has like this thing where it's like, the one in the bathroom is like, you never know how many friends you have until you have a beach house.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And these are all like little quotes around the house.
Because that's why I'm here. Because you have a beach house.
Right.
Not because I enjoy your presence, of course.
Right. But these
that's the cons. When I made the pros and cons, I said I wrote a list. I said, pros and cons to going to Chris's beach house. I put pros, it's a beach house. Con, it's Chris's.
Yeah. Well, this, I think, going back to our conversation, clearly qualifies me as somebody who knows about, coming to America with nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So,
this is why you are the person that should be telling me.
Right.
Yeah.
But I do think, to close that point out, is I just think it's awesome. I do think it's awesome. And something I only realized when we were talking about the name is this, like, you can't be more American. Like, you could be like, bro, let me show you the ropes a little bit, like a dude, like I always think it's funny
Bro,
when,
let
like,
me show you around. Come on, it's a
right,
weekend. I'll
like,
show
do you ever
America.
meet somebody who's new? Like, there was like a dude I used to work with. He lived in America for like 2 years, and he was like a bus guy at a place I worked at, and he was Muslim, and he was like, bro, I love the Panthers. The Carolina Panthers, dude. Like, he was just like all about the Panthers.
Yeah.
And it was like, why, man? Like, let me show you some real teams.
Yeah.
Like, let me show you like other things, Like,
Yeah.
it was like so funny. So like, but
Usually
he's not less American than me.
Right.
We are both equally American, and that's what's beautiful about it. But
Well, and you were talking about like busters and like being like Dominicans like go straight to Boston Red Sox. You'd be like, oh yeah,
Big Poppy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who's
yeah.
your favorite baseball player? Big Poppy.
Big
and
Poppy, bro.
And they'll say like
Yeah.
Manny Ramirez
And then
too,
like one weird guy's like,
Pedro
Nomar
Martinez.
Garcia Parra.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Yeah. No, I love them.
That
I love
ex-Latin?
Yeah, I love them. I always love them. Yeah. I was telling you earlier that a lot of Dominicans used to work at Coogan, like Mexicans in the back kitchen, and I remember this dishwasher. He had just came to America like 2 years, like American citizen, right? And I was like, and we were all talking, we were like, son of a bitch, and like he got offended, and I was like, no, it doesn't mean that in America. Like it doesn't. The words don't really hold true to what we're saying, right? Like in America, everything is just like not thought of.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's funny you say that, actually. It's funny you say that, actually. I don't know if this is going to be a thing where there's this, like, story time and the fireworks go off or whatever, but, like, so, like,
it's not fireworks. Like, now you get the hot dogs cooking, right?
Yeah.
It's like 4th of July.
I like how you did it like you're holding them in your hands.
Oh, yeah.
No sticks.
I was holding...
You always hold them like that?
Honestly, I was holding, like, spatulas in my hand.
You got a loose grip on that spatula.
But, like, I had, like, the fork. I had the fork and the like, like the pitchfork you use for hot dogs, and I had the spatula because I was thinking of 4th of July. Makes me want a hot dog real bad.
Yeah. Oh, I'm really thinking about having a hot dog. A Nathan's hot dog.
Anyways.
It wouldn't be a ballpark. Ballparks don't have a dangle to them.
It's
Ballparks
Nathan's.
are like short and
Yeah.
like you just
like yeah, Nathan's they
got a little.
they hang low,
Yeah,
they hang high,
low.
baby.
Yeah. Does your Nathan's hang
Hang
low?
low,
Does it wobble to and fro? Yeah. Yeah, so I did. So I wanted to share today something what happened to me recently, especially with you. Aside from it's comedic, whatever, but you're a woman, and this is a woman thing, and I've only talked to dudes about
I'm
it.
a woman.
She's a what? Wait, let's say our pronouns real quick. I'm a
Okay.
he.
I'm a starfish. Prefer to be called starfish.
Preferred pronoun is star or fish or
Yeah.
starfish.
I'm all for it. Call whatever the fuck you want.
Okay.
I don't, you know
I'm
what I
gonna
mean?
stick with he.
We're all aliens.
I'm that
anyway.
dude. Can I be my pronoun's that dude?
We're all lizard
My
people
guy.
anyway.
My pronoun's my guy. Just call me my guy and we're good.
Yeah.
Then I'm comfortable.
Call me my dude. That's
Yeah.
it. I don't really care.
I'm that dude, my guy.
Yeah.
That's my pronoun. My dude or what do they say? They or them? They or them. My dude or my guy. Either one. So I have a slash.
I'm glad
there,
you got
too.
that out of your chest.
Yeah.
It's off your chest.
I finally have one. So wait, okay. So I mentioned you. I saw some friends like over the weekend, like college friends I haven't seen in a while, right? So,
was it COVID friendly?
it was COVID friendly.
Oh.
Yes, it was very COVID friendly.
Did you all take
there was
the
a
anal
total of
test?
5 of us. The anal test?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all lined up and they tied our ass to anyway. I was doing this hot human centipede thing. So we're like all hanging out and like I graduated with these people, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're all friends and we're hanging out and we're playing cards, drinking. You know, it was one of those things where we were like, you know, I got there on a Friday night, and then, you know, the other people got there like around like late afternoon. So we like started drinking at like 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like early.
The vacation starts early. Like, and it's like old friends. You're like, start it up.
And we're in Secaucus, New Jersey. So like there's not a
So
lot
there's a
around
lot of
besides
things
the
to do.
racetrack. Right. We went to the deli. We went to a dope deli and picked up, bro, let's get cold cuts. We made chicken cutlets.
Of course you
We
did.
had Italian bread. We got prosciutto. We got fresh mutts. We got a bunch of stuff. We got a couple of stuffed breads. I don't know if you've ever had stuffed bread, but it's delicious. Stuffed with like a pepperoni, chicken, ragat.
I don't know if you've ever had a stuffed bread. Yeah, I've had a stuffed bread.
Okay,
before.
I don't know.
Who do you think I am? You're
I don't
like,
know. I don't know if you've ever been to friggin' Secaucus. They got stuffed bread other places? I didn't
No
know.
fucking way.
No fucking way,
That's
bro.
not a Secaucus thing?
I thought that was a Secaucus thing. Yeah. But anyway, so like it's like one of those days. It's just like we're eating and drinking, like hanging out. And so at one point we're playing cards and drinking, talking, and we're getting all like fired up in this conversation, and we're talking about eating people, like a stupid thing that I like bring up all the time, right? So I said to my friend Jackie, I said to her, I was like, would, you know, she was like, oh, I'd eat you first if we were on an island.
Yeah.
And I was
that
like,
must have
that's...
did it feel like a good thing or a bad thing?
I actually was like, felt like,
Yeah,
I was
honored.
like, oh, okay, like...
You have your choice of meat.
Right.
And it's me you think
You're
is
picking
delicious.
me, like,
Yeah.
you know, and if you
Or
guys
do you-
survive, I get to like die with like some like, you know, honor.
With a cause?
Yeah, you know.
You're so American.
Well, I mean, come on, I gotta leave something, you know.
Yeah.
But that leads to what happened next, because I asked her, I said to her, I was like, okay, I was like, if you eat me, will you memorialize me? Like, I would,
Yeah.
you know, if you
You
kill
said,
me,
well,
like.
at least, right? You were like,
I was like,
when
yeah,
you
would
told
you
me
like it
earlier,
at
yeah.
least, like, if you're going to eat me first, like, if
Yeah.
you're going to at least, like, make a memorial of me, like,
Yeah.
I even told her, like, I would like to be, like, have, like, a statue of me, like, in front of the ice skating rink at Rockefeller type of deal, like, but just, like, me, you know, like, out, you know, we survived because of Chris Metcalfe,
Yeah.
like, some dope-ass obituary, just, like, honor me.
Generous with everything he had, the skin off his bone included.
Right. Maybe do a recipe
skin
book,
off his
something,
back
right.
or something like that, right?
And she just, like, turns and it was just,
Shirt off
like,
his back?
she goes, yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know
She
English.
just turns and is just like, ew, no. And I was like, okay, you can't. And I like turned and like kept, because like there was more conversation going on. It wasn't just her and I talking.
So you
there
called
was,
her
like,
a cunt.
I called her a cunt.
All right.
And
You sure know how to get a party started.
this was the showstopper.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that it was a showstopper. It was a delayed effect, because I like turned to my friend Rob, who's the only other guy there, and I'm like talking. I was like, dude, she would have memorialized me. Could you believe that? I was like, well, okay, fine, but how would you prepare me? And as I'm like turning and like still talking about this,
Yeah.
like everyone's like, the girls are just like looking at me, and I like turn to Rob, and Rob's like, my buddy Rob's just like, oh,
They were
you
like,
called-
no, the fuck Chris didn't.
yeah, pretty much.
They were all looking at you like, excuse me? What did you say?
Yeah.
And to have like the whole party looking at you like that.
I mean, there's only 5, but yes, like the whole,
That's the
like
whole
I said, it was
party.
the showstopper,
Yeah.
right? It was just like the whole mood got weird, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, I was like, wait, what's what's wrong? Like I really didn't know.
Yeah.
Like,
Because
why?
you said it so, like, it wasn't like, you're a cunt, Jackie. You were like,
Yeah.
oh, whatever, you cunt. And then you like, just, yeah.
You just, you know,
Yeah.
you're going to eat me for your own survival on an island, and you're not even going to at least do a little bit of a, hey, little memory for me. Like, that's cunty. That's a cunty thing to do. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I would have said that to a guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, like, so it just didn't
Because
register.
it's the action is like it's cunty. It's a cunty, right? Like
Yeah.
it's a cunty act. Like
Because it's not bitchy.
no, bitchy is more like just like dismissive, right? And like cunty is like, yeah, I'm gonna eat you and then not even think about you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't even care that I
Yes,
ate you. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So, it didn't.
Even if it was a guy, you would have said it. It's just it's not about the gender.
Right.
It's about the action. And I get it.
Well, there was a funny moment too where like I didn't know what this was about.
Yeah.
And then my buddy Rob was like, "Bo, you called Jackie a cunt." And his girlfriend, my also friend, hits him and is like, "Don't say it again."
Don't repeat it.
Yeah. And I was just like, and then when they said that, my reaction was not good. Well, they all think I'm like a heartless, soulless, like I just lack like
Right.
any empathy. And I probably do to some extent. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just like, my reaction is kind of what it is now. I was like, wait, seriously? Like, are we really doing this right now?
But you know what's crazy? It's like I know where you're coming from, but the fact that no one had to talk about it, like that means that that's how they all felt at the same time, and you must have just been like, you're like the kid who pooped himself at a party. You're like, oh,
I totally am the kid who put myself in the party.
Yeah.
The room was kind of spinning a little bit. I kind of felt like I was bombing. I really did feel like I was bombing, actually.
You felt like you were going to throw up.
Because
like,
we were having a great time.
Yeah.
And not that I was like running the fun train, but like there's only 5 of us. I'm holding at least a fifth of the entertainment going. I'm probably like more like to a third. But still, like, we're having a good time.
I'm carrying the conversation a little bit.
I was on
keep
a
it
roll.
going. I'm hosting.
Yeah, I got a little too comfortable.
Yeah,
you know what I
you
mean?
did.
It was like I'm on a set.
Yeah.
I'm running my material. I'm going off book.
You know
and
what
I got
it is?
two.
You started hosting and you got a little carried away. You got too comfortable with the crowd.
Yeah.
And you started a roast instead of a host. And they weren't with it. Like, they were like, I know, Chris, we were all on the same side.
Except my first joke is I call a woman in the front a cunt.
Oh, yeah. You eat shit the whole night. You don't recover from that.
No.
You eat shit the whole night.
No.
Not only because you can't recover from that, but you're so flustered in your mind that you can't recover from that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I basically like get, as I'm like catching up to what's going on, they're all like folding their arms and I start trying to stumble into an apology. Yo, I'm not even joking you. I wish I could take a picture
people, like,
of what I was looking at.
Fold their arms slowly, like to send the message. They're like,
the thing is
that's how, you know what? It probably was like fast. And in your head, it was just like,
I like my favorite part of it is at the end.
Yeah.
They settle. They settle in.
Yeah. The head settles in too.
I'm not done.
Yeah. You're not going to explain yourself?
Yeah. It was that. And I didn't even see them do that part.
Yeah.
Because I was too busy like talking and whatever. But then, yeah, but it was like, I felt like I was on like, in like a weird, like, I don't know, like a Greek court, you know, like the 3 of them were just like this. And then my buddy Rob just like, oh, bro, I can't help you. He was like, bro.
Because like Rob is dating one of the friends that's there, right?
But yeah, but like not to get into the details, but like they've been more friends longer than they were dating. Like,
absolutely. But it also, he's not hearing it tonight for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not hearing. He chose. He said, for tonight, if I defend him the rest of the night, it doesn't matter how cool they are, he's gonna have to hear it.
Right.
So you didn't think it was a big deal?
Right.
You didn't. Oh, you just thought that it was cool that he called her a cunt. You know what I mean? Like.
Right. Yeah. Don't step up to the plate for him like that right away.
Even if you agree.
Right.
My friends are there. Jackie's my friend.
Yeah.
And then she's like. But you know what it is? It's not that you lack empathy. It's just that you are desensitized to certain words. And it's also because, like, not only are you from, like, live in New York, but you're also a comedian. So those words don't really mean anything, right? Like when the dishwasher got mad and we had to explain to him, like, no, it doesn't mean that, right? Like, it's not really that your mother's a bitch. It's like somehow you're the bitch, but you're the son of a bitch, but
Right.
it's you. It's not her.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with her, right?
Your
Like,
mom's not a dog.
yeah, like
Yeah.
when parents are like, you son of a bitch. And you're like,
Keep calling yourself.
yeah, you're like, I agree.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
sign me up
Yeah.
for that fan club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the only thing my mother called me that I didn't mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if someone called you a cunt, you would be like, ha ha ha, it is cunty.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also in a power position as a straight white male. Because
Not here.
but there's no like one word that you can say to me to like really, you know what I mean? Like I feel like as a
Daddy
woman,
didn't love you.
but that's
Most
a phrase.
men will cry.
Yeah. Talk about my thinning hair. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like to get on me about that. You know what I mean? But yeah. Anyway, so I don't know. I stumbled into apology, and the thing you said about the living in New York and being a comedian.
Yeah.
I said that in the apology. That didn't
Why
help.
would you do that?
I was.
Why did you bring a shovel to your own grave?
Because here's what happened.
Why did you drag the shovel?
I think because I was trying to. I was like, well, I like said I was sorry. I was like, I'm sorry. Like I didn't mean it that way. Like, and I was like, I was drunk. I'm very comfortable.
Yeah.
I hang out with comics. Like, my intention wasn't like there, but I was like nervous, so I'm like laughing
Yeah.
like I am now. And I was just like, I don't know. I was like, I'm sorry if you're offended. Like, I'm sorry that I offended you. Like, I was just rambling.
Yeah.
And
You were just like, it was, you were grabbing.
Yeah.
You were like drowning and you were just like reaching for things. You were like climbing like a wall. You were like hanging on really tight.
Yeah.
So you were just like grasping for reasons why. I mean, they're all valid.
I was trying to explain myself. Well,
But you
what
just
that-
say
what one of the
sorry.
well, exactly. And that's what one of the girls said. The one girl that I didn't really know, but is like close friends with them. She's like,
Oh, even she put her 2 cents?
she was like, well, you just don't sound very sincere. That's what she said to me. And then, like, of course, Steph and Rob, like, they're laughing. And Jackie, it's not helping my friend who I
Yeah.
called a cunt. And I'm just like, and now the hole's gotten deeper because I'm like, what do you
Yeah.
mean I'm not sincere?
Yeah.
Jackie, I'm sincere. Like, but I'm laughing. I'm like, what is happening? Like, so whatever. Finally, like, there was like it got really weird
Yeah.
after that because it was just like
Really?
I was on trial.
I don't
Yeah,
think
it was
anyone has
weird.
that experience with the word cunt. I think it goes up for people. I think it usually.
Well, here's what was funny because at one point she said to me, she's like, "Here's the thing." My friend was like, "Look, I work like in like there's a lot of males where I work. Like I got to deal with a lot of bullshit. I don't want like it just doesn't feel good to hear that. And also, I thought we were close enough.
Yeah.
I thought we were close." So close that you would never say a word to me like that.
Yeah.
And my brain exploded because I was like, Jackie, I thought we were so close that I could
Yeah.
say something like that to
Yeah.
you. Like,
Yeah.
what are... And now I'm trying to explain that.
Yeah.
And then it's...
She's like, I thought we were closer than that. You're like, we are. That's the only
That's
reason.
why I called you a cunt.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the only reason I would call any woman a cunt is because
Right.
we are so close.
Right.
You're like, the closer, the harder the sea. You're like,
Right.
the harder the sea, baby.
Yeah. I still didn't feel good about it.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, after it happened, here's the thing. Here's what made it worse. She then went to bed, like, shortly after. She's like, I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. So it's like, did I
Everybody's
offend
like-
you to sleep? Which is a new one. I've never done that before.
Yeah.
And whatever. The rest of the night went on. We ended up, the rest of us had, like, a good time just playing cards bullshit. Next day, I see Jackie is like, we're leaving. We're all hungover. And she's like, hey, we kind of like laughed, hugged. She left.
Yeah.
I didn't say a word. Now I'm like thinking about this, right? Because I'm like, I don't want to, look, even doing stand up, right? Even if we're going to do material that we know is like, I don't know, for lack of a better term, edgy.
Yeah.
My goal to do it is still not to offend people. I might know that it's going to make some hair stand up because
Yeah.
of subject matter, but it's never right. Would you agree with that? Like,
No, you don't want to go out your way. The thing about being offensive, I think, is like look, the word cunt like automatically falls into the it's an offensive word.
it's a heavy word.
Yeah,
in
it's
America.
an offensive
Yeah.
word. Like you could have called her a bitch, you could have called her a pussy, whatever, right? But the word cunt is very heavy because some men still use it like that. In that way, you don't.
Right.
But you can't assume that every other male doesn't.
Right.
So like it's not heavy. Like if you would call me that, I would laugh. You know what I mean?
Well,
but like,
yeah, and
but like
context.
she doesn't do comedy, so you can't expect for her to always be
Right.
on. You know what I mean? You're not doing crowd work. Also, you're having a conversation with a friend.
About eating each other, right?
Yes. Okay.
Right. Not politics.
Yeah.
Eating each other.
Yeah. Exactly. So
And memorializing the death of one to survive. But anyway,
you were right. She was wrong.
that's what I'm hoping to get out of this. I'm hoping by talking to you, I can leave and be like, as a straw, like I am confident in that I am right in this situation, even though I'm not.
No, you're not 100% wrong. You're
Well,
98% wrong.
Here's the kicker part that I found out. So I message her and I call her. She didn't answer. Her job, like she
Yeah.
works like crazy. Like, so I didn't expect her to like text me back, but I didn't hear from her like 2 days. Then I call my friend Steph, whose
Yeah.
apartment it was. And I'm like, hey, what's up? Like,
Were you like freaking out? Were you like, oh, she doesn't want to
I'm
talk
not,
to me? I've like overstepped
yeah,
my boundary.
kind of, yeah. And I just wanted, I said to her text like, hey, look, I tried calling. I just want to apologize again
Because
for the
you
other night.
you do consider her a friend. You do
Yeah,
love
she's
her.
she's a very close friend of mine.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do that to anybody,
Yeah.
but especially a close friend, right? So
Yeah.
I was just like, look, you don't have to call me back. I just want to say I'm sorry again. If you do, hit me up, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you later. Didn't hear anything. So I called my friend Steph to get like a little like, hey, like, should I keep trying to reach out to apologize? How pissed is she?
Yeah.
And right away she's like, well, I probably should have told you this, but she called me the next day and was like, do you think I overreacted a little bit last night when Berg called me a cunt? 48 hours. A little over 48 hours of me being like, oh man, I should probably talk to Jack.
Yeah.
I feel bad about
Yeah,
doing
you're
this
like,
all day.
I can't believe I would do this to a woman. I have a mother. I love my mother. I have a
Meanwhile,
sister.
she's like, I kind of threw him under the bus there for
Yeah,
no reason.
she's like,
the
oh.
alcohol got to
She's
the
like,
best
oh,
of me.
I really fucked up Chris's night.
Yeah.
and probably like whole week.
He's called
Yeah.
me worse. Yeah.
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 It's like you probably called each other worse.
Yeah.
It's just weird. It's weird because it's like, you should have never said the word, right? What the fuck, whatever.
Yeah.
But like also like when you're close friends, it's kind of like I can call you anything, right? Like I can
Yeah,
call you
I did-
anything. The more, you know what it is though? It's because you and I are sick, right?
Yeah,
Because
we're
Splitting hairs.
yeah.
True.
Splitting hairs.
True.
Splitting hairs.
Because when we first met, because we bartended together before we started doing stand up together.
That is true.
We first met at a bar because we were bartending and at Coogan's, and I said something to you, like I used to just like roast you, right? Like
I loved it.
Yeah,
It was like a sick
yes,
sick BDSM. Except I wasn't hard.
yeah, but your heart was.
But
Your
yeah,
heart
I would
was like-
it would just like I would get excited. I was like, yes.
But you told me you were like, this is how I feel like friends and family. Like I feel like
Yeah.
the closer you are with someone, and like you've also said to me, you're like, no. You're like, I don't get mad when you roast me. You're like, I actually prefer so that I know we're all good. You're like, I'm worried when you don't roast me.
Yeah.
I know we're not in a good place when you don't roast me.
If there's no ball busting going on,
Yeah.
usually there's like a problem either in your life
Yeah.
or with me or something going on, and we have to have like a talk.
Yeah, like a sit down.
Right.
I don't think we've ever had a sit down though.
No,
Yeah.
not yet. I
Yeah.
mean, we're technically sitting down now.
Yeah, but this is about you. This is about your problems. But it's like that whole ball busting thing. It's like sometimes you take it too far. Like
Yes.
I've been in places where like I gotta watch my mouth. Like it's almost gonna come out, and like I'm like, you're
100%.
not with comedians. You're not in a place where like everyone knows everything is a joke, and like it's not that everything is a joke. I think comedians take things in context. Like I think we're also so aware of delivery because we have to be because of stand up that we are so aware that how someone is delivering something. And I think that's what's important. I think that's the difference. And I think like that's why it's so easy for me to be like, oh, Chris didn't mean it because I could tell by his delivery.
It's the nuance of it
Yeah.
all. Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I agree.
But then like you're like all bald all weekend. Like
You're
your
pulling my hair. Yeah, yeah.
You're like, oh, you're like slamming your head on the wall. You're like, this is why I don't have friends. And then Jackie's like, oh, I always overreact when I'm drinking rosé.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so crazy. Ah!
Fuck.
Yeah.
she won that one.
Yeah.
No matter how you slice it, she won that one.
But
Not that it's a winning game. But
everything's a winning game with you.
I know. I need to win.
But it's cool. It's cool that you did the extra reach out. It's cool that you showed you care. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like only that says so much about your friendship. Even after you called her, like she knew when you called her. Like she knew. She's like, I overreacted. Like look at Chris. Like she probably was like,
well, she didn't say that to me. She said it to somebody else.
Right, but in her head.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I know when I feel like I've overreacted, I know in my head, like someone reaches out and I'm like, oh, like, you know, like, even if I didn't overreact.
She since hit me up, thank God, and was like, hey, we're cool. Like, we're good. I like.
Because even if I didn't overreact, even if I did overreact, I appreciate the notion that you're still thinking about it, you know?
Right.
So I think that just like made it even solidify more that
I suffered.
That she won.
Yeah. Women love suffering.
And that's all women are going for nowadays.
Suffering.
Yeah. This is our starting position. This is like, you know, when they're like, get ready. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Beep. Beep. I want to get that sound effect to a woman doing that.
That's the get ready. That's like.
And then once they do the final.
Yeah. That's like, in their head, they're like, you don't even know what you're getting yourself into. You know what I mean?
Elbow hits them.
Yeah, like that's them like settling in. So yeah, I mean, but you survived it. You survived it. You survived it. Yeah.
It was a short-lived, you know.
But it's like
I lost sleep over or nothing, you know. But I did feel bad
it's not
about
like
it.
I cut my wrists.
Right.
Yeah, but it's friendship, like you know, like I've been going through some family shit that I shouldn't even be thinking about. You know what I mean? Like recently, my sister, like she moved to Florida.
Okay.
They used to,
because of the pandemic.
Well, she has 3 biological kids, but she adopted a 4th. And living in New York, you kind of don't get the, you know, it's small. Apartments are small. Fucking
state tax is crazy.
And you know, to fit that many people in one place in New York, you like have to kind of be like making bread, you know. And so my sister moved to Florida, and you know they got like they didn't buy a house, but they got like a apartment, but it's, you know, those are houses out there. You know what I mean? Like a
condo or like a split house.
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
Split level.
But they have both levels.
Okay.
But that's
so
how
it's
they
probably
made
like a
them.
condo or something
Yeah.
like that. Okay.
And so
Ooh, do they have a lanai?
A what?
It's like when you have a deck with like a cage over it.
What?
It's called a lanai. We'll do it.
That is a fancy word for cage. You couldn't just fucking say a cage.
It's a classy word for a deck cage.
Oh, yeah. That's what we need.
It's
classy
not a cage,
words
it's a
for
screen.
cage. Oh, yeah.
It's a screen.
Oh, it's a classy word for screen. When are we going to stop making up words? Just fucking screen. When did we need to make up all these other fucking words? Anyways, so.
It's a screened-in deck, damn it.
Why are we so extra?
Because people who wear sweaters over their shoulders don't want to call it a screened-in deck like a dirty construction worker. They have to call it that's a real estate word, lanai.
As in a lie.
Fuck yeah, it's definitely a fucking lie. Yeah.
An illusion.
Yeah. And then they drop a smoke bomb.
Yeah,
lanai.
exactly. Lanai.
Yeah.
This is not a screen. It's a lanai.
So we don't know if your sister has one.
No, we don't know if my sister has a lanai, a screen, or a cage. She doesn't wear a sweater over her fucking
over her shoulders,
so I don't think it's a lanai.
She'll get there.
But so she's lived in Florida, and I really miss the kids because I'm like really close to them. And you know, I was supposed to get them for Christmas, and like I was gonna fly them over, but because of COVID, with the flying and stuff, and you know, like the way I feel 100% is like I'm not doing any indoor shows. I'm not risking it for anything else. If I was gonna risk it, it'd be for an indoor show. You know, it'd be for comedy. It wouldn't be to see people. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I will risk my life for comedy, but not for my family. You heard
But
it
if I
here.
was doing like indoor shows, I would see them too. You know what I mean? If they were okay with it.
Because you're already like, I'm already diving in, so let's
yeah,
do it.
exactly.
You'll book an indoor show and a family event on the same weekend.
And the same night. Double me up, baby.
Yeah.
I got energy.
Fuck yeah.
But then she surprised me. They drove up, which I didn't mind, right? Because it's like the driving is way different than the airplane. Is more COVID friendly, right? So she shows up as a surprise, and I'm like, oh yay, oh, and she's like, and before she had told me, she's like, I think I'm gonna drive up to the city. And I was like, oh, which weekend? Because we already had this weekend plan.
Right.
We haven't seen each other in a long time because of COVID.
Right.
We usually see each other more. We're doing comedy together.
Do the podcast.
You live in
right.
the city, when things are normal. And so, like, we can take a cab to each other's house, a train, a walk.
I would walk sometimes.
Yeah, like we live that close. So we haven't seen each other in a while. And then we wanted to do a couple of projects together, some sketches, some podcasts, some like writing. So, this weekend was like important for me, right? It was like, oh yeah, I get to see Chris, boom, boom.
It's like the one, we never planned things this
Yes.
early in advance.
Yes.
And we planned it this early in advance that it was like, yo, you can't.
It was also this thing that it's like, again, like, it's not like, oh, Chris, next weekend, I see you so much. I see you so
Right.
many times. It's like, this is a specific weekend, and we both picked it to work around each other's schedule.
Right.
And like my sister just pops up, and I had to ask her. She's like, "No, it's the second week of February that I'm coming up."
So wait, just to clarify, when she showed up, was it like surprise, like military father coming home and seeing their kids? Like surprise,
No,
we're like
it was,
here,
it
we're
was
here.
Like, it was like soccer mom surprise because the van opened up and there was like kids jumping out.
So, but you
It was
didn't
like
know
a-
they were there until they were physically in front of you.
It
Like,
was
hey, we're here.
Yeah, it was like a Jack in a Box. It was like
Really?
and it was like 6 kids like.
So it's not like she was like, she didn't call you like 15 minutes before. You like were leaving your apartment or whatever, and she's like
She
there.
was like that her boyfriend Manny. She was like, Manny's going up to New York, and he has your Christmas gifts. Because remember, I haven't seen them, and I shipped them their Christmas gift, and they thought I was coming up. They thought they were coming up, so they had mine.
Oh, so you think that he has the Christmas
And she was
gifts.
just like, oh, pick it up from him. Like, I don't want to ship it. Like,
Right.
just pick it up from him. So I'm like going downstairs to like pick up a gift and then go right back up, right?
And then the gift
Not even
is-
chit chat. Not even chit chat. Like in my head, I'm like, let me go get this fucking gift, come right back up. And my day is like to myself, right?
back to video games.
Back to important things. Like going to war on my video game.
Like the intense battle I have. Yeah.
Yeah, that's American.
That's extremely American.
That's extremely American.
Yeah.
But so I was like, and we were also getting ready to come here, me and Kate. Like we had to pack, and we were like, getting situated. You want to leave your house a certain way, so when you come back, you don't have to clean.
Unless you're a fucking animal. But
Yeah,
I'm with
which
you
I
on
usually
that.
am. But
Yeah, but when you leave, you don't want to come back to the mess.
Yeah.
I find I like tidy up more than I normally would before I leave.
right.
Do you know what I mean?
So when you come back, you're not like, oh, I got stuff to do. You can just fucking chill out. Yeah. And we also didn't want like last minute packing, like last minute, like where's this, where's that, which what ended up happening. Right. So my sister gets there. She opens the fucking car, the van, and it's just like children. And I'm like, but my first reaction is I miss them so much. I give
You're
them
not
a
like,
hug.
fuck! your niece, your cousins, your niece and nephews. You're just
I'm like they like run up to me. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
you like
This
palm
shit?
one of them.
Yeah. I'm like,
Palm one of their
I'm like-
faces.
I'm like, get out. Back
Fuck
away.
out,
Yeah.
fuck out of here.
Kick them in their chest. Move back.
And then
6 feet.
Then you
Give me
start yelling
6
at your
feet.
sister in Spanish.
Yeah. No. I get really mad when I yell in English. Like it gets the more the angrier I am, the more urban it gets.
Okay.
Yeah, my words get shorter. They get shorter. You know what I mean?
Not a lot of syllables.
Yeah. Yeah. I cut right to the chase. My fucking brain can't work.
So wait. Let me ask you this: is there any part of you in that moment when you realize that your sister's there and the kids are all there? Is there any part of you that's like, fuck? Even in the back, even
no,
like
the first thought was like, damn, like that.
that was you're like, fuck.
It wasn't even fuck. It was just like,
damn.
It was like short, like real quick. When I saw it, I said, damn. damn. I was like, damn. Like, fuck. Buy me the spot. Damn it. But then I see them. I'm like, oh my God, hi, right? So then I go get Kate. Kate is like, oh my God, what a nice surprise. So then my sister's like, yeah, they want to stay with you.
In front of them?
Yeah.
That's like asking an ice cream man in front of the ice. Like, you have your kids, and you are like, hey, they want ice cream. Who does that? Not to throw your sister under the bus. I don't. Yeah. But it's just like, duh.
My whole thing was surprise, responsibility, right? Surprise.
Well, right, yeah. Hey, what's up? They want to stay with you.
It's like giving someone like for Christmas, like they open a card and it's like a car bill. You know what I mean? Like it's like a Spectrum bill they want you to pay. They're like, surprise. They're like, didn't you want me to like up my internet so we could Zoom more? Surprise.
But here's what's crazy about it. At least with a bill, you know that it comes once a month. It's scheduled. You're not surprised with a bill.
No, I'm saying like you passing me your bill.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, not that we share a home. That's like you're like, Ashley, I got a Christmas gift for you. And you like, give me the card. And I like open it. It's like, it's like a gift card or something.
Oh,
and
I
it's
see
a
what you're
fucking
saying. Right. And
bill.
it's actually their
yeah.
Sorry, I was a little lost on that one.
Yeah, sorry. Maybe I didn't explain it right.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're expecting like a gift card or a lottery ticket.
Yeah, scratch off or something. Right? Because I was going to get a Christmas gift. I was supposed to go downstairs to get the Christmas gift.
Right. It was like, her husband's coming up to give you the gifts. And it's like, these are your gifts. Yeah. We're your gifts.
I'm like, where's the $100 bill?
Did your sister, it would have been funny, did your sister, she was like, they want to stay with you. We don't. We're going to go.
She was like, oh, like, when can you stay with them? Like, they want to stay with you so bad. Like, Faith wants to see you so
now.
Bad. Yeah. And
they want to stay with you right now.
They miss you like so bad right now. Right now. They miss you. They cry because they miss you.
I mean, look, I told them in the car ride up here that they could stay with you.
Yeah.
But I also told them that we'll ask Aunt Ashlynn when we get there.
I told them that like they could stay with you, like no problem, and they love to stay with you. But I also told them that I would ask you in front of them.
So, what do you think? What does everyone think?
So
do we want to vote?
So you're gonna be a monster, or you're gonna be a heartless bitch in front of your nieces and nephews? You're gonna be heartless. That's how it felt. But I said it. I was like,
she like turns to her. She turns to them. She's like, do you guys feel heartbroken? Are you guys heartbroken?
She's like,
or not?
you can't. How does that make you feel? Do you think she's a good aunt? Like, will any of you, when you grow up, be like, damn, my aunt was good with this answer? You know what I mean? Like, that's how it felt. But I told her I had, like, work to do because I've been doing, like, trivia, like, hosting trivia through Zoom and Scavengers. So I, like, told her, I'm like, I can't tonight, blah, blah, blah. And then she fucking texts me at night, and she's like, oh, Kate really wants to stay with you so bad. I mean, Faith really wants to stay with you so bad. Like, she misses ya, and, like, she'll be a good girl. Like, she'll be quiet. And I'm like, first of all, my apartment is, like, 6 steps, okay? No fucking way am I gonna host a trivia or a scavenger with a 5-year-old around.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when like I host trivia, like sometimes Kate will not. Kate is my girlfriend. Sometimes she won't watch TV or like use her because Zoom is like so overpopulated right now that they're having issues, and I'm hosting it, so I can't have issues. I gotta be like.
You have to be the one person on the call without issues.
Exactly. I have to have no issues, because I'm running it and they paid for it and I'm getting paid for this. So this has to be professional. And like, I can't picture my 5-year-old niece being like, oh, you have to do a Zoom trivia? I'll be quiet.
Yeah.
No. You pay your bills.
Auntie Ashlynn, what are you doing? I'm hungry.
It'll be like, Titi, are you done yet? Oh, Titi, I want to play. I want to watch Frozen. Oh, Titi, I want popcorn, Titi. And I would.
And then you're turning. You're like, you promised you'd be quiet. You promised.
I'm like, I wish that fucking car would have never got here. fucking broken down somewhere, North Carolina or something. Fuck.
You're the worst Christmas present I've ever had in my life.
All my other Christmas presents are fucking quiet. You're in my Xbox right now? Fucking silent.
Yeah. It's a light, beautiful hum.
Be like my fucking Xbox.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was like, I told her too. I was like, no, because I'm doing this thing where I'm like, it's like really weird to say. I'm doing this thing where I'm setting boundaries with my family.
Yeah.
And that's pretty hard.
Yeah.
No one really tells you need to do that.
No.
Yeah.
No. Because you think you're supposed to like unconditionally just do everything that they like.
Well, you just feel like a bad family member, right? You get to a point where you're like, oh, I wish people will help me when I need it. So I'm going to help them every time they need it. But you need help like 5 times out of the year. They need help like 500 times out of the year. Like sometimes twice in one day. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, how did how is there like a conclusion? Is she still in New York right now?
Yeah, she's still in New York. So
are they just like banging on your door right now? Are they just like I'm imagining them being like Titi.
They broke in like through my fire escape. Like I'll come home and everything like my gaming chair will be on fire.
Cause your apartment is the same apartment that you like grew up in, the one you live in now.
Yeah, it's I've always lived in this. I mean, like early years, like 1 and 2, I didn't live there, but like after that, I've always lived in that apartment. Like my only memory of an apartment is that apartment.
Right. And so now that is now yours that you have taken over.
Yeah.
So like your sister like must know like the landlord's number, the super's number, like, I called Pedro, he let us in.
She doesn't, but she knows the neighbors. And I can see her being like, can I go through your fire escape to Ashlyn's apartment? And then being like,
she forgot to let us in.
Yeah. And then being like, yeah, of course. You want some coffee?
She forgot her Christmas presents.
Yes.
She's like sending her
I want to put her
nephews.
Christmas presents back. I did this for her.
Yeah.
I did this for her. Yeah. So they come over, right? So I'm like, no, tomorrow. I'm like, I'll watch them Thursday, right? Because they came Wednesday, surprised me Wednesday. So I'm like, I'll watch them Thursday. So Thursday, I watched them. We all spend the day together, which is really cool, right? I miss them. Everything is good. We watch movies, we do popcorn, we play games, Monopoly, whatever. I get really, competitive. I don't let anyone fucking win. I'm not fucking doing charity here. You're gonna fucking know how to lose and accept it.
To lose.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You walked into a lion's den. You're like telling them
I'm like, as soon as the games come out, Titi is gone.
Kate's in the corner like, you're gonna do great, guys. You're opulent.
Kate's like, you guys are being so fierce. Look at you guys. Look at you guys playing together. Fierce.
Look at you guys playing in the lion's den.
Oh my God,
she's such a veteran. You're never
fierce.
gonna beat her
Oh my
anyway.
God,
but like you guys are trying and it's fun. You're bonding.
She told them that. She was like, they were like, oh, you think, like the next day they were like, you think we could beat her if we try again? And she was like, no,
she's a steel dragon. You'll never destroy her.
She's like, no, she's so crazy. You'll never win. I'm like, crazy? You mean talented is what you mean. I am talented at playing games.
You don't understand.
I am talented at beating 50-year-olds at games. That's my fucking talent. That's my sweet spot.
But it's not that.
I feel like I keep putting my hands here. I'm sorry.
How dare you get in my one shot? This is my shot. Just feed me a sandwich. We'll green screen
I was choking
a sandwich.
you.
I thought you were trying to feed me a sandwich.
Oh, what a man mentality. He's like, oh, I thought you were trying to provide for
I thought
me.
a bitch was trying to feed me a sandwich. I think next time I get myself in a situation where a woman does that, I'm just going to start doing it back to them.
They won't know what to expect.
Yeah.
They won't know. Yeah, they'll be like, they'll probably laugh.
Yeah, it just totally diffuses the situation, and then I hook up with them.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't say it'll make them blind.
I have to keep up the thing where I do showstoppers. I have to keep ruining it.
I didn't say they will be blind. I just said they would be, it'd be funny. So anyway, so then they show up. So then Thursday, I'm like, yeah, bring them Thursday. We play games, whatever, right? I beat the shit out of them. They can't fucking handle it. They'll never fucking recover. They'll need fucking years of therapy for how I destroy those kids. Fucking years. So like, but no, we played a good game. We had fun, and so like we taking care of them. Then the next morning, my sister's like, I'm like, hey, like I'm making them breakfast.
Breakfast.
I'm making them breakfast, and I text her. I said, hey, I'm making them breakfast. What time are you coming to get them? Like, what time are you guys driving up to get them? Because that's Friday, and I'm leaving. You're picking us up at 2.
Right.
So she's like, oh, you know, the place that they're staying, something happened. She's like, maybe I was thinking that like you can stay with them until tomorrow. And I was like, do you not read my fucking text messages? Like, does my world not fucking matter? Because I told her, I said, hey, I can, because when she asked me for Wednesday, I said, no, but I'll take them tomorrow. And then I leave Friday at 2.
Right.
So where did I leave Friday at 2? Did she confuse with, please leave your baby kids with me?
Or just leave them in your apartment.
Yeah. Where did she not understand that I was leaving? So I was like, do you not read my text messages? I'm like, I'm leaving today at 2. And it's like already 11:30. And she's like, oh, fine. She's like, I'll come pick them up now, I guess. She's like, please have them ready. I was like, I just fucking told you I'm cooking breakfast. I'm not going to fucking not cook breakfast.
What does it mean, get them ready? Like, have them, like, have their coats on and shit?
Yeah.
Like, have them all, like, geared
dressed up and, like, prepared and packed up.
Prep
yeah.
for the day. I guess I never realized, I don't have kids, but I forget, you have to prep them. You have to prep a kid.
You just don't. Here. Here.
Let's go.
Yeah. You got to, like, get them and make sure everyone's dressed. And you got to make sure.
She used the words, make sure they're prepped.
She's like, I can't fucking show you, but she says, like, please make sure they're ready. Please make sure they're ready.
They're ready to go.
Yeah, ready to go. Like, ready
I'm
to
not even
out.
Stopping. I'm just doing a slow roll, and they got to kind of
a slow drive-by.
Jog and jump into the van.
Yeah. So whatever. So I'm like, I don't give a fuck what she just texted me. I'm like, I just fucking had your kids, and I'm making them breakfast, and I'm making like waffles, pancakes, eggs, sausage,
Where does
bacon.
she end up taking them from there, I wonder?
Where does she find the nerve? Where does she grow those balls? That's the real fucking question.
Yeah, I mean, it is ballsy, but I feel like, like if like wherever she was, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm imagining she's like, I don't know, doing something that is like, well, I'm not expecting to have to go pick my kids up. I'm hoping or expecting that they're going to stay where they are for the next, few hours.
Yeah.
But if that's not the case, then it's just like, oh, I guess I got it. Like, was she like at like a brunch, like out at brunch and being like, fuck, I got to go get them.
She was like running a couple of errands, I think, something like that. And I think she was just like, we're by the Lower East Side and I'll just come get them now.
Okay.
And were they ready? No. They were still eating. She was like, and I tell you to get them ready. And I was like, isn't this my house? Like, if you wanted them ready earlier, you come get them ready.
It's a lot of very interesting, like, weird asks. You know what I mean?
She's
it's
also,
like the one night when you were like, can you just watch the one?
She's also my older sister. She's also like 6 years older than me, like significantly older. I'm also like,
you should have kids just to ask her favors. Be like, hey, I'm dropping them off here in Florida, and I'm going to go back to New York for like 2 weeks, and then I'll come back and get them.
I would never. I would never let my kids hang out with someone who has that much balls. That's nerve. No, but I will let her watch them. But no, I'm not going to have kids just to teach my sister a lesson. What am I, 5?
No, you're 7.
What am I, 5 years old?
7?
What am I, 5 years old having kids to teach people lessons? It's so 5-year-old, Chris. Fuck. Grow up. Fucking. I was doing that at 5.
I mean, people have had kids for way worse reasons than revenge. There must be kids. If you're having a kid for revenge, this is a revenge kid. There's got to be worse.
At this point, I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't know if you're trying to get me to have a kid just for revenge.
Well, you just said you were like, oh, I'm not that petty. I'm not that immature that I would have kids to avenge, to like spite my sister, to do the favors back. And I'm simply suggesting can't be the worst reason to have kids. It's not the best reason, but it can't be the worst.
What would be the worst?
I don't know. Maybe you're trying to make sex slaves or something, and you're just like, I'm gonna make,
fucking got me there.
God, harvesting.
You fucking got me there with the. I mean, you win. Like pedophilia. Like what am I supposed to go from there?
I mean, maybe you wait until they're 18, but still, you keep them keep them locked up in the system.
Yeah, much better. You're such a better human being.
I don't know. Marginally. Listen, we're not trying to
maybe the
rank
person
things.
is not a human, and maybe it's not a monster. They wait a little bit till the kid is 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not, I don't know. It's a fucking monster.
Or whatever the late age of legal consent. I mean, if you want to turn over a profit faster, you go to a state or a country, rather, that has like a lower age of consent.
Yeah. I mean, you know too much about this for us to continue.
How do I have to? I don't even know that much about it. I don't even know. I don't know if there's like a secret underground hospital of women that are like pumping out kids to go straight into.
I just don't know when you have the time to think about this.
I'm kind of just running with it now. It just
sounds
popped in my head.
It sounds like it.
But I mean, it would make sense, would it not?
I mean,
right? It's like when you outsource. It's like when you outsource. It's like outsourcing. It's like, yeah, look, I started a thing where I have a system where I produce kids to be put into a very dark, evil system. But like, I gotta wait 18 years. It's like, I can't wait that long. So we started doing them out in Australia, because Australia, the age of consent is 16. I'm trying to run an ethical
How do we get
operation.
here? How do we get here? How do we get here?
Should we do segments?
How do we get here? How did we get here? How did I say I'm watching my nieces and nephews and you're like, you should have a kid. Listen. You should have a kid for revenge. No, Chris, I really shouldn't. That's not a good reason. There's worse reasons, Ashlynn. It's not like you're having a kid so that someone else can fuck them. God. You're just doing it to teach your sister a lesson. Fuck, live a little. If you don't make mistakes, you can't learn. Fuck, how did we fucking get here? But let's move on to segments, because I think our segments are more serious.
People's heads are going to explode.
Yeah. Okay.
So, segment. Yeah, I don't know if there's like an intro is going to blow off on the screen or something like that.
It's our heads. It's our segment section. We don't have brains for this. Trust me. These segments where there's no brains.
Right. We've already been canceled.
So, you got to be famous to be canceled. Stop it.
Hell yeah.
Somebody's got to subscribe. No one subscribes to us.
No one's watching.
So our first segment is People Meet.
I wrote People Meet Preppers. Same difference. Yeah.
People Meet MEAT.
Yes.
Yeah.
People Meet. Yeah. It's do you want to lay out what it is?
No, this is your invention.
Yeah, this was my segment.
Yeah. I want nothing to do with this. No,
this is my segment.
But this is your segment, and you've also like talked about this on stage and stuff
yeah.
like
So
that.
like I just not to get into the whole depths of it because I don't.
Whenever I do listen to whatever you say on stage,
right. Like there's the Black People Meet is a famous site,
Yeah.
and I just when I was very young, like I didn't know much about, but when I heard it on the radio, I was like, Black People Meet just sounds like, you're talking. It's like a specialized butcher who fucking. You want meat? I got meat. I got different cuts of meat.
Yeah.
But I only got black people meat.
Yeah.
I'm out of the other meats. So what do you want? And it got me thinking about like
I don't have any other meats.
Right.
Okay. This is what I specialize in. I specialize in black people meat. You wanna fucking have whatever meat, you can fucking go to.
You want Asian meat, you want white meat, you want Latin meat, you gotta go to other guys.
Yeah, go somewhere else.
This is Frank's Black People Meat.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and it got me thinking, like, what I've never tried human yet, but like
it's called like Dahmer's Black People Meat.
Yeah. And
it's called Dahmer's.
Yeah, Dahmer's. Doms for short.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, but it got me thinking, like, what is, if you're gonna like, not eat it like not when I say eat meat, like eating human meat, and think about preparing like a human like to eat, I'm not thinking like a caveman where you're gonna like hold like a leg, where you're gonna see a foot. I'm talking like, you're gonna cut some, like treat it like a real animal.
I thought it was like grab a turkey leg. this whole time, which is more embarrassing because I've been down for it. So like, which is even like worse because I'm not even like, oh yeah, this is not like that butchery. It's like fancy, like. I'm not like, oh, it's like, it's human, it's just like one slice. No, I'm like, yeah, fucking cut his arm off and
just like roast it over a fire.
Yeah,
and
so
eat
I'm
it.
worse than you. Yeah.
I wonder if this is gonna make this segment way more interesting now because I'm thinking like they're gonna pull like a silver thing off your plate and it's gonna look. You wouldn't know that it was human meat until they said to you, you're eating, human carpaccio.
Yeah.
A thinly sliced.
Well, like that's funny because I saw it too as a menu.
Right.
But I saw like because we're doing celebrities.
Right. So we can all sort of relate.
So I thought it was like the menu. It's like, like Danny DeVito, 5'2", like salty, more with pairs with wine. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I thought it was like his picture. And then like he'd come out on a plate and it'd just be his whole body.
Just like the pig with the apple in his mouth?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with him.
Okay.
Because that was one of the people on the list. I'm like coughing, I'm laughing.
He has COVID.
So
COVID.
Wherever the picture comes up, you'll see it somewhere. But so that's not too far off from how I imagine him being prepared.
Okay.
So he's like got some fat on him.
Would you pick that out in the menu, Danny DeVito?
Yeah, of course.
I wouldn't.
Oh, so wait. So I better understand how you took this.
Yeah.
You're saying of the people we've chose to go through today, you're saying who you would pick.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just gonna go through and say how I would like to have them prepared.
Oh, I was going.
So
on
let's
like,
do this.
I was going like would I eat them? Pros and cons of eating them. Right.
Absolutely.
That's what I was doing.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So let's do this. Let's go through them
because we've worked on everything else. The name of the show, everything else. But the fucking segment itself.
Yeah. Segment, not
we're
really working.
We're like people meet, and we're like, yeah, we both get it. And that's it.
Yeah. It's way off. Like not, but yes.
Yeah.
So, okay, so let's go through this menu and then I'd be down to I'll still pick which one at the end I want of them, right?
Yeah, and I want to hear how you would dress them too.
Right.
Yeah, because that matters.
Of course.
But I'm thinking of them I wasn't thinking of them prepared. I'm thinking of them like,
like whole.
Yeah, like whole.
Like they're all so
like humans are meant to be eaten.
Every part,
all inclusive.
So I originally thought Danny DeVito would be prepared. I just thought of it as like a dish.
Yeah.
And so because he's got a lot of fat on him and a lot of aging.
Yeah.
I was gonna go pork rinds, take fat up or do what are those things called where like the Spanish where you get like the big pork rind, you put the hot sauce in it.
I don't know. The bag you said? The bag of chips?
It's like a huge piece of fried pork.
Yeah.
And you put the hot sauce in it.
I don't know, because what I'm thinking you're talking about is like chicharrones.
Chicharrones. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking
You're
about.
You're like talking about chicharrones.
Yes.
They have like, it's like
like a big pork rind.
Yeah, and the end has like fat, and when you deep fry it, it's like the top gets crispy, but the fat is still soft.
Yeah.
So you bite on it, and then there's like meat in between. It's like a sandwich in itself. It's like crispy, soft fat, and then meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like something like that, but which is a pork dish, but you had brought up your whole thing about having him just like done up with the apple in his mouth, which would also be a good way to, I think, eat Danny DeVito. Really baste him, like serve him with like a pineapple.
I had more of an apocalypse approach to this because I was like, okay, I'm on an island. Because to me, I'm like, I don't know. I didn't see it as a delicacy, right? Delicacy.
Right.
I saw it more as like a have to. Like if you were on an island, and you have, and we'll go through the list right now. You have Cardi B, Danny DeVito, the Williams sister, which is Serena and Venus, and then Willem Dafoe. want to, we want to be prepared for every.
Yeah.
You want salty. You want hearty.
Different.
Yeah.
And if you guys are gonna overthink, like, oh well, they don't have like an Asian person in there. What's the deal with the whole? It took us literally 3 minutes to think of this list.
Honestly, we just thought of people that look delicious and don't look delicious.
Right. It was just different, Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. Like,
Don't overthink who we selected.
We literally didn't even know what this segment was about.
Do
not overthink it.
Yeah. Just like the title of the show.
Yeah.
If you're a Republican listening to this show, sorry.
But like also not
but
sorry.
Also keep listening because like we may say some shit that you like, right?
Yeah.
Anyway. So that's the menu. So
you may say something you like the word cunt.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So wait, let's jump back up to Cardi B.
Okay.
Cardi B. So again, I guess I don't really even know how to attack this. Like, I obviously had in mind like how I would want to like eat her, I guess, but you don't even have it, or how I prepare her.
But I like to hear it.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Cool.
I like to hear it.
So.
I'm lying. No.
Oh, okay.
I'm lying. I would not like to hear it. No. Good.
I actually think she would taste good if you did something like a chili, like minced her. I think she would taste good.
That
minced.
is so fucked up. It's like you need to be destroyed to your bone in order to be enjoyed.
Like ground down into and then put inside of a casing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is like, and we could use her intestines as the casing.
See, and here's the thing, too. No, it sounds delicious. I agree with you with Danny DeVito and Cardi B. Here's the thing, too. When I think about eating people, not only do I think about how they would taste, but I also like to think about their personality.
Right. Well, stress has to do with
exactly.
See, I think about how much drugs and like plastic surgery I have, and that's why I'd rather like similar to a hot dog or a sausage.
I was gonna say a hot dog.
Cardi's got some right. She's got some plastic surgery.
Yeah.
You know, like just whatever. Just grind it all in there, and then we'll put it into a casing with all the. And we'll get it all.
We'll do something. We'll do like a breakfast sandwich, but it's just like grind it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But so like I like, because when they say now that like the reason why, humans are have more anxiety and stress is due, like some people say that is due because the chickens now have a lot of stress and anxiety, right? It's like what you feed the chicken and all of that, right? So I thought about that and I was like, well, would I want to eat Danny DeVito? That's like a grumpy meat.
Right.
Right? And then Cardi B is like a ratchet meat. You know
what?
You know what I was thinking about? Have you ever had like, and it's funny because you said chicharrones.
Ratchet meat.
Like you eat it, you're like, oh my god.
Like I've never been like
all of a sudden I don't feel like tipping.
I don't really like this chicken wing. Was this a ratchet chicken? Did this chicken strip? Was this chicken born in the streets? Because I don't.
Does this chicken have like a hard life and a hard upbringing?
Does this chicken have a criminal record?
Did this chicken like not celebrate Christmas until they were like 12?
Did this chicken know its dad?
Is this chicken's like credit score like 450?
Does this chicken even have a credit score? I don't think this chicken's paid taxes for the last 5 years.
But that could be a white chicken too.
That's true. Yeah.
Or a non-ratchet chicken. It's not even about white. It could be
ratchet,
a non-ratchet.
right?
Yeah.
Ratchet chicken.
You don't gotta be ratchet to not pay your taxes.
No. White chicken. This chicken's white. You took it there.
Yeah. No, I meant like ratchet.
No,
like...
I know. I'm fucking with you. So wait. So we got on a sidebar. So you actually took in, but
yeah.
I think that's
so
a consideration.
And
that's
then
something
Danny
to take
DeVito's like grumpy, right? Like I feel like I'm gonna eat the chicken. I'm gonna be like.
But do you think he's grumpy in his real life?
I feel like a lot of people.
I've heard interviews
like,
with him. He seems like he's
seems
like
like a very sweet guy, right?
Yeah.
But I just feel like that's the impression I have of him, because I know him from like Twins.
Right.
He was whole grumpy.
Right.
I mean, of course, he's like standing next to Arnold, and he's like, "Oh, fuck me!" Like
and playing a character.
Yeah, exactly. But most actors are not playing a character.
Sure.
You know what I mean? There is something to them that they're always that like grumpy, that everyone thinks they're that grumpy.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was just like, that's just like my first thought of him. It's not because he's a grumpy man, but that's just like, you know, like when you're like, oh, do you like fried fish? You think about the time you've had fried fish. You know what I mean? Like when you're looking at a menu. I'm sorry. I was just like.
No, I'm with it. No, I get it. I get it.
So I was thinking about the personality. So pros. And for some reason, I thought that. This goes to show you how much I thought it was Apocalypse. For some reason, I'm like, eating Danny DeVito feels like it would be like a hairball. Like I'd be like.
Well, sure. In that sense, yeah. If
right?
we're just like eating him like directly off the bone, like with some like not prepared in any way, absolutely. But I think by the time he'd be like a pig. You know, he'd be. You know, any hair on him would have been plucked out or shaved down. And
then the Williams sister. Let's move to Serena and Venus. Okay, this is the meat that I would go for the most.
I would probably have to agree with you
on
that.
Like if I had this list.
But I think it would be like an elk meat or like a wild turkey. Not that wild turkey and elk are exactly the same. Here's why.
I was going to say it was like a bison meat.
Same difference. Yeah. Because here's why. Domesticated animal meat, like when you get like a Wagyu steak or whatever, that is like that animal has been like kept on a farm to like live a certain way where it's like the right amount of fat and the right amount of muscle.
Yes.
They're an elk, a bison, even a wild turkey. They're like more lean.
Well,
because they're moving more. So not that the meat's bad, it just needs to be prepared differently.
Yes.
And that's why I have them as a stew.
Yeah.
A very slow cooked, lots of herbs and spices, and get the meat like tender. And I would stew the Venus sisters.
Well, you could
not sexual, not a sex thing.
You could also like because they've been taken care of. It's like healthy. It's
organic, right?
Well, they also have like vitamins inside them, right? They like their body has been taken care of.
Right.
Like they see a doctor, they see a trainer, so like all their muscles.
But you talk about stress. There's got to be stress there.
I think about competitiveness.
Sure.
I was like, oh, I eat it, and then I'm like, I'm going to destroy my nieces and nephews.
That's going to be a strong meat. So that's why I chose a stew for them, because it will, like, because when you make a stew, it sits for, like, long, long periods of time, and, like, or, like, a pot roast would be good, too, like, style. Like I was doing, like, a slow cook for them. Okay, but so we're at least in the same vein of a more, what's the word I'm looking for? Not tender, lean meat, like just like a tougher meat. I mean, kangaroo is like that too.
You look at them and you know that they're right in all the right places. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you know that it's gonna cook evenly. You know that it's gonna taste right, and what you have to add to it. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna have to cut like when I'm butchering it. It's like I'm not gonna have to cut like Danny DeVito, Cardi B. Like Cardi B, like I don't know exactly.
You're gonna have to cut certain parts out to not eat it.
This is I can't use this. You know what
it doesn't go right with the dish.
Right, like Danny DeVito, you could probably use like a lot of his parts, and like similar to Cardi B, like kind of like take some of it and be like, like this is not part of the main dish, but I could save these parts and use it for like a bone broth.
Yeah.
You know,
now,
you know what I mean?
Willem Dafoe.
Okay. I only chose him because we watched John Wick last night.
Yeah.
And he was on my mind. And we were trying to think of celebrities. And he's a tough one because he's old and very skinny.
He's also very villainy to me.
I like how much that is playing a factor in your selection. When I went through this, I thought of the stress and their personalities in terms of, like we were just talking about with the Venus sisters, but I didn't think of it in the sense of like, oh, he has an evilness to him.
And then I'm going to eat the evilness.
A lot of vibe.
Yeah.
Well, that's the Latin. That's the that's the Latin.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I was like, he's kind of salty. He looks like he could be like a salty meat, like a salami.
Yes, he would.
Right.
I even went as far as like thinking like he might almost taste like an anchovy. You know what I mean? Like a very salty, like cut him up and like either pickle him or like do like more of a charcuterie type of thing with him. Yeah. Where it's preserved.
He's a charcuterie board?
Yeah. Yeah, charcuterie board.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where, and then because I do kind of imagine like if you like seasoned him and then like put him in like a can with like oils and stuff, like you could preserve him for a while because he's already aged. So he probably has flavor in him. But again, not a lot of meat.
Yeah.
So he probably has like good like bone marrow taste and like that kind of shit.
He'll,
But like
be,
the meat.
Yeah. He'd probably be good for soups.
Yes.
But yeah, like if you want to incorporate some kind of meat into your
like
soup.
a little goes a long way. He's like a bouillon cube.
Yes, yeah, What I mean? You gotta like take like doses of him. Like,
a little bit.
You gotta be careful.
A little bit of Defoe goes a long way.
Yeah. He's gotta be like garlic. You're like easy on the Defoe. Easy on the Defoe.
Right.
Don't get heavy on the Defoe.
Yeah.
You like write a recipe. You're like easy on the Defoe. I went hard the first time. Did not like it.
or like treat them like a pancetta.
Yeah.
You know when you get like a carbonara.
Yeah.
And there's like little chunks
Sprinkles
of like the pancetta
of
where it's just like, ooh, this is a nice carbonara with a Defoe pancetta.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's like it's very pancetta is like little like hard aged meat but kind of cooked, and it's got that like little
That's
salty
exactly
bite.
what he is.
It's
He's
exactly
a pancetta.
yeah.
There you go.
Make
We
him into
nailed
like
it.
yeah.
Nailed
So
it.
yeah, you can either have him on a charcuterie board
Yeah.
or something to accent a dish.
Okay. Well, I think like what I think it's funny is that like these are like some of them are appetizers and some of them are entrees.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, right. Because at some point we will at the end of this decide who's the one that you'll eat on the island.
At some point, we will eat all of them in real life.
I was actually thinking about this as like a nice 4-course dish
that's what
without a
I'm
dessert.
saying.
We don't have
like,
a dessert. But
like you got the soup with the Defoe, easy on the Defoe, or you could do a charcuterie board.
Right.
Right. Then you got the chili, right?
Right.
You want to eat up the chili. Then you got
or
the
a
Danny,
sausage, right?
Yeah. Then you got the Danny DeVito
Mm-hmm.
with the chicharrones, right? Like that's a nice little startup dish, right? And then you got the Williams sisters, right?
Right.
You got them. You either slow cook them. You've been slow cooking, so since you're slow cooking, you're like eating everything else, so you could just not be starving when you get to the Williams sisters.
Right.
And then you enjoy them because you want to have you want to save them for a long time. You want to have a little bit of meat and some carbs.
Right. Yeah. This is. So wait, are you picking the Venus? We are picking the Venus. You are picking the Venus sisters.
I am picking.
I
the
have to
Venus
agree with you on that.
Yeah.
As an overall island sustenance, this is what we're gonna eat. I'd eat a Venus stew.
Okay.
A
Well,
Venus
I would
sister
slow
stew.
cook it. So
Or slow cook it.
Venus
Right.
sisters 1, everyone else 0.
I do like similar to how we were like went into this game or this whatever you want to call it with the same like idea, like we are going to eat them, but it was like the same but different. I think it's also funny how we're also both picking the Venus sisters, but you're like, well, I'll slow cook them, you make your dumb stew. Both are still slow cooked, but when you say slow cooked, but like slow cooked could
like
mean
roasting.
So you want to roast it. You want to
Yeah.
slow roast it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can even put it like in a slow cooker, like
But a
pressure
stew
cooker.
could be made in a slow cooker.
Right, but I don't want them
Right.
as a
You don't want them
stew.
cubed and mixed with other things.
Yeah, I want them to like if they're gonna be mixed with other things, maybe a nice sauce or something like that, but not like potatoes, carrots.
So you can do
stew.
them like a pot roast. Like a pot roast is slow cooked too.
Yeah,
It's like instead of doing slow cooked chicken, it's like a
yeah.
beef.
No, I wouldn't do that. But anyways, thank you for being here.
Actually, they would taste good as like a London broil too. Anyway.
Yeah, no, they're some good meat. But so let's move on to our next segment. So we're both Tauruses.
We are
and
both Tauruses.
We both don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck, but you like to entertain yourself with it though, no?
I kind of believe in it and kind of think it's a piece of shit. So I like kind of believe in it, kind of think it's a piece of shit. There are some times where I'm like, wow, look at the universe spitting facts. Look at the stars. And then there's some days where I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up. What do you know about me? Just because I'm a fucking Taurus? Like, just because I was fucking born on this day, on this time, like, you fucking know it all about
Right.
me? And then sometimes I'm like, you do know it all. So I like swing back and forth. You, at no point think that you know it all. Well, not that you know it all. At a certain point, you don't think that the horoscopes mean anything.
Right. Well, that's what I just wrote down because it made me think a better game. We don't have to do it today, but almost like we're going to read our Taurus thing, but it would be interesting to read 3 like horoscopes to you and then see if you can pick which one's the Taurus.
Okay, that's cool.
You think do you think you'd be able to pick it? Do you
Yeah.
think that they differentiate like that much? I don't know. I'm like legit. I'm not like provoking you asking you. I'm legitimately asking you.
The problem is that the horoscopes are usually like, this is your year to focus and relax. It doesn't say anything specific, so it could be anyone. But I don't know. I'm willing to try out that game.
Should we do that first? Do you want to
go
do
ahead.
that first?
Yeah.
Okay, so wait. So I'll look up horoscopes. HWOREOSCOP. Oh, that's not how you spell it. Okay.
This is so un-American.
Okay, so I'll read you 3.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the first one. If you've been thinking about studying astrology, blank is the day to do it. Even if you already know the field, you might decide to branch out into a newer, more radical aspect, such as draconic or galactic astrology. You will learn more quickly and retain more of what you learn. So no matter what interests you, this is the day to put some effort into learning more about it. Okay, so
What
that's
horoscope is that? Is that like a fucking... Is that like a pitch to join like a horoscope college? Like, is there an ad there that's like, go to Know Your Sign University?
Let me just make sure that I read the right one.
Okay.
And I gotta remember which ones I read. Okay. Career matters may involve some touchy circumstances that require ingenious methods to solve. Blank. You're in the right frame of mind to come up with them. You're definitely up for a challenge, and you will probably dig right in and come up with lots of great ideas. These concepts will not only get you through the current situation, but also prove useful in the future. Go to it. Okay. And we'll go to, let's see. I like this one. Okay. Much of your day may be spent running around your neighborhood, blank, perhaps in the company of your partner. You may have a lot of errands to run, or perhaps you're just antsy and unwilling to spend the day indoors. Whichever it is, you may come into contact with some unusual people and events. Take a notebook and camera. You might want to record all of it.
Okay. Can I guess?
Yep.
The second one is a Taurus.
The last one was a Taurus.
Really? But you don't even have a partner.
What are we? What are we? What are we?
That's great. Wow. You see, you don't think they're spot on? What was the second one?
Sagittarius.
Oh, gross.
And then the first one was a Libra. So wait, let me read the Sagittarius again. What did you think?
Yeah.
Sagittarius, career matters may involve touchy circumstances that require ingenious. Yeah, I mean, I think it just goes to show.
First of all, horoscopes. Horror, as in horror movies. Horoscopes. This is so great. You know why? You know why this is so great? Because I would do this too if I didn't know horoscopes. But also, this is you. You're like, I'm scared of my horoscope. I think
That's what I kind of thought the segment was.
yeah.
I'm scared of, I don't know.
Because you're scared of your feelings and you're scared that the horoscopes are going to be right. And you call them horoscopes
Yeah.
because you're running away from your feelings.
Yeah. No, you're not even inaccurate. I really do hate connecting with my feelings sometimes. I'm just I don't want to do that.
I'm just talking shit, but also
honestly,
I'm talking shit. But you know what I'm doing? I'm doing exactly what they do. I know you, so I'm throwing in a little bit of stuff, right? Because
Sure.
they know human beings.
But
right?
but I'm kind of turning the boat around on these horoscopes because run. I'm doing chores. I'm stuck inside. I don't have a partner, but I talk to myself.
But it says record it or something like that, right?
Yeah,
and this is what we're doing right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and we were running around all day.
Yeah, doing errands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look at us now. So it is kind of true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe I will start reading my horoscopes.
Yeah, you should. You should. You should
I think I'm into this.
Whatever they say, do it.
Like I knew.
We should do a documentary. Where whatever the horoscope says, the person does.
We go out there and do it.
It's like Yes Man with Jim Carrey.
Right.
But with horoscopes.
But we live up to it.
Yeah.
And then who do we sue when it goes bad? The stars? Intergalactic law.
No, we'll sue someone. We'll find someone to sue. Fucking Jackie. Emotional distress, Jackie. Fucking Sue Arlen, my sister.
Yeah.
Fucking babysitting money.
Man, that was interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to leave.
So
this
what did
segment.
our horoscope? Oh, okay. Our horoscope said to.
It
film
basically
stuff.
said, yeah, it was like, hey, keep a notebook and a camera on you, and make sure you are recording everything because you don't know what's gonna what kind of fun's gonna ensue.
Yeah, like us learning that you spell horoscopes with horoscopes.
You're showing everyone my notes.
It's like it says, underground hospital, pushing out baby bit, sketch maybe, selling your kids, worse things than revenge bit, question mark.
Yeah, like how to weave in, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, that was a good segment. I want to say that, I want to say in your face, kind of.
What?
Because you always make fun of me.
For reading them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in your face, and I won. And this is how my nephews and nieces felt. So I'm on a fucking roll.
There's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
now horoscopes is what you're going to live by. And
Right.
that's it.
I'm gonna
But
dictate my
it
life
took
by
like
it.
this moment.
It took this podcast for me to get into horoscopes. Yeah. Yeah. Are there people that are good at horoscope? Like, do I need to find the right horoscope reader, or can I just willy-nilly just anywhere? I guess I
Like,
gotta ask
you're talking
Kate.
about like websites?
Yeah, like, are there someone who's like, is there people who are like, oh, I don't like reading this person's horoscopes. I fucking hate their horoscopes. They don't align with my chakras.
You know who's really good at reading horoscopes? Christiana Jackson. Like she's so funny because she's a comedian, and she is so funny because she'll be like, we'll be talking about something and she'll be like, when's their birthday? And I'll be like, August 20th. She'll be like, that's the thing, dude. Such a fucking Leo, dude.
Also, I made lemon squares.
Yeah.
You want one?
She's
I feel like she's always making like delicious food and
she's like,
shit.
that's the thing. He's a fucking Leo, man. That's why I only suck a Leo's dick once. Like, that's Christiana Jackson.
Only suck a
Yeah.
Leo's dick once.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
she knows all the horoscopes.
Yeah, like,
yeah,
she's like,
yeah.
dude, you can't fuck with, like, she was like, oh, we were like trying to do moon signs.
Okay.
Like, moon signs are like specific to when you were born.
Okay.
And so we were doing moon signs, and then Kate and Christiana Jackson, they were like doing my moon sign, and then Kate put like the wrong time. She was like, oh, you're a Pisces moon. And Christiana was like, no fucking way, dude. She was like, no fucking way, dude. Like, there's no fucking Pisces in you. Like, she doesn't give a fuck. Like, to her, the time is more wrong, even if it was like on document. Like,
Sure, it's her. It's the vibe.
Yeah,
It's the vibe.
And then
yeah.
and then I remember I told her, I thought my moon was, or like my rising is like a Virgo or something like that, and she's like, no, that makes sense because you're judgy.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So there are some people out there that think everything is about your sign, and you gotta like agree with, like, I feel like kind of the reason why you and I get along is because of our sign.
Well, I mean, now I believe.
Because if you
that.
weren't a Taurus, like I couldn't stand you.
How is it?
This friendship wouldn't last.
If
What else would we agree on except being Tauruses?
Being Americans.
Boom.
That's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah. Is that it? Should we end this?
Oh yeah.
This is like, I feel like we're like, I feel like
would-
it's like that thing where we're eating a great meal, and like I want to keep eating it, but then I
Yeah.
also don't want to like.
You don't want to throw up.
Right. Yeah.
We don't want to
Yeah.
throw up here. You already
Yeah.
pooped
We
your
don't
pants.
want you guys to throw up.
Yeah, you already pooped your pants in a party.
Yeah.
We don't need you to throw up on a
No.
podcast.
No.
But so, yeah, this is our podcast, and hopefully we hope it's
Splitting Hairs.
and you know, we're not going to go into why. You've heard us already, and we're two Americans, and
Yeah, do you want to promote? Do you want to do?
As-
We should do a
yeah.
little promotion so people know where to follow us and do
Yeah.
all that shit.
yeah, like as much as we are different and we have like different backgrounds, we're fucking simply both Americans, whether who likes it or not. But so you can follow me at Ashlynn Salzano on Instagram, and go ahead, Chris.
Follow me at Chris Metcalfe Comedy. I don't really fuck with Twitter, so
Yeah,
you don't have
me
to worry
neither,
about that. I don't know if we'll have a handle up
One,
for
two,
the show yet.
on three,
but
say why you don't fuck with Twitter. 1, 2, 3. People
I
get
suck at
canceled.
writing.
Oh, okay. All right,
Yeah.
guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Peace.